AVC. It is Old Metal Rocker 66 here with another, probably the last one I do as far as bands that have, the first one I did, it was bands that have hell in their name. Helloween, Hell Train, Helltown, bands like that I showcased that were in my collection. This one, it will be bands that have war in their name. And most of these are going to be metal bands, exception of maybe a couple from the 70s. But I'm going to start off with a band that I came across a few years ago, and I just kind of I picked up their second album here a few weeks back. But anyway, I'm talking about a band out of Poland, thrash metal. This is their first album they came out with was Wrecking Command, and this is Warfield. Their first album, Metal on Metal Records, came out in 2018. Killer thrash metal, old raw sounding thrash metal. And this is their second, which I have on vinyl, with the Old Breed. This thing is so good. Again, very raw vocal sounding. Production is good. Everything about this is really good. Definitely, this is one of these bands that are continuing to get better. Their first one is good. This one is better. But thrash is ruling 2025 this year. I tell you that. I have a lot of thrash already, but Warfield, yes. Next is a band I came across many years ago. God, it's been almost, it'll be, well, it's about 17 now, but I picked this up from Century Media, Warbringer, War Without End. Killer, this came out in 2008. I think this is their first release, if I'm not mistaken. Second release, I think this is their first, but Killer, one of the bands that were in the second wave of thrash, starting about 2000. Continue to be here today. They just released a new album, which I'll show you, but this is Killer. And of course, Warbringer with Wrath and Ruin. So good. This has, it's thrash metal with, it intermixed cleaner vocals with some deathy style vocals, but the deathy style vocals are very understandable. I mean, it just fits perfect with what they're doing on this, and this will be high in my list as well. Another Killer release. First one in 5 years. And then a band that came across, God, I want to say almost 10 years ago now, well over 10 years now. But I believe this is their first release. It's more of an EP. Well, yeah, an EP. This is a Workers. I believe these guys are out of Indiana, I believe. This came out in 2016. This is Final Days. Thrashy, heavy metal, traditional sounding. They kind of mix both together, do it very well. If you like Savage Messiah, maybe close to that. But killer stuff. And then I believe this is their latest one. And this is Eradication from Workers. And this was on black vinyl, but I believe this is their last one. I believe their guys are actually recording again. It's been a while since we've had any, but some workers. And then a band called War and Peace, The Flesh and the Blood Sessions. I don't think I've ever seen anybody show War and Peace before. This came out in 2013 on Cleopatra Records. And then a band I came across many years ago, I think back in the old web TV days. Pretty darn close, I'll tell you. This, I was just intrigued by the name, actually. And, you know, back in them early days when you were buying stuff online, you know, you only had a few outlets you can go to. I think I bought this. I can't even remember what. The site I believe is still around, but I haven't used it in years. I usually use 3 or 4 main sites when I buy stuff. But this band, I believe these guys are out of Italy, and they're called Warship. And the album Attack, this came out in 2006. I believe this is put out by the band. I believe it's just it's a CDR. So, and they did their own inserts. But these guys are still active. I believe they have a new album out. Just straightforward heavy metal. And then War Machine. And this is Left 4 Dead from War Machine. Some killer stuff here. Let's see. This came out. God, I don't even see a year on this, but anyway, doesn't matter. War Machine. And the last one on the CD side is, and this is really good. I just bought this. Not because of the cover. But the name kind of drew me in. And this is going back almost 30 years now. It's on Metal Blade, so. But War Dog, Scorched Earth. This is really good heavy metal. Maybe a little thrashy at times, but it's produced by Jean Herrera and Bill Metoyer. So, but War Dog, definitely pick this up if you see it. And then a band from the early 70s. I have the CD of this. And this is kind of a band that has a cult metal following from the early 70s. The band is called Warhouse. And if you want any Warhouse CD or albums, you want this one. And if you can find an original from 72, that's even better, because it was on Vertical. This is the second album, and it has XD Purple, Nick Simper's excellent band. This is what he has, Warhorse. And Red Sea, like I say, if you want any of the Warhorse albums, pick up this one. They do have a couple out, but originally come out in 72, and this one is a reissue from 2014 on Repertoire Records. Early 70s hard rock, progressive rock, killer stuff. And then a band, I believe these guys are out of Spain. This came out, I want to say, originally late 60s, early 70s. Band called Warlock. I believe these guys are out of Spain, if I'm not mistaken. But reissued in 2020 on the Samore label, which is a label that caters to a lot of 70s bands that really only put out limited pressings. So those, this one, Garrison, and there's one other one that are putting a lot of these out. And this is 60s, late 60s psych. Just killer stuff. Side 2 is probably the heaviest. And I don't know how many of these are out there right now. And I know labels like this will probably do a couple hundred, if that, you know, and they may reissue depending on how many they sell. But yeah, good stuff. And of course, we all got the probably the Warlock everybody knows with Doro Pesch. And this is Triumph and Agony, one of my favorite Doro or Warlock albums. Well, let's see, this is from '87. This is a promo. But the first 4 Warlocks, I mean, you can't go wrong with any of them. They're all great. Doro is still out there doing stuff. I think she's doing some new stuff again, but it's a little bit more ballady stuff. I prefer more of the heavier side of Doro. A ballad now and then is not bad, but get back to your roots, heaviness. Anyway, good stuff. Then a band out of Texas. Texas Thrash. This is produced by Phil Anselmo on the Housecore Records in 2017 and Warbeast. And Enter the Arena. I'm trying to think of the vocalist here. Bruce Corbett. Bruce Corbett. I know... I might be mistaken, but I thought Bruce has passed here just recently, a few years back. I'm not positive. If anybody knows, let me know. I think he did. I'm not positive, but I know one of the vocalists in one of the bigger or the more known bands out of Texas that are thrash. I thought it was him, but I could be wrong. I think it was. But killer stuff. Check it out. And I believe these guys are out of Poland, and this is really good. On Napalm Records, the band is called Warfect and Spectre of Devastation. Killer thrash. I'm almost sure these guys, let's see here, Frederick. I believe they are. I could be wrong, but I think they are out of... what did I say, Poland? Maybe I'm wrong, but Warfect, Killer Thrash, come on, a couple years back. And these guys have been quiet for a while. I think they haven't put out an album maybe since their last one. This is their self-titled. And this early one is getting harder to find. This is on the Symmetric Records label. So probably that's why they're getting harder to find, especially on this particular release, but Warrior Path. I think these guys are out of Greece. But this is their debut. And maybe epic metal, new wave of traditional heavy metal. But we need a new Warrior Path. And then these guys have just come out with their I think their 3rd album, maybe 2nd album, but this was their last album, which came out in 2022, I believe. This is their last one. Yeah, I believe it is. Anyway, they're on the Metalopolis Records label. And I'm talking about Warwolf out of Germany. Necropolis is this album's name. Old school heavy metal, traditional heavy metal. 3 albums, I believe they have 3 albums out now. But killer stuff. Another band, I believe, out of Germany. And I came across this band a few years back. The band was called War Dress and Metal Till the End. This came out 2023. it's okay. I mean, I was expecting a little bit more by the title, you know, but there's some good tracks on here, don't get me wrong. This is on, let's see what label. Let's see it here. It's on the black Sunset label, I believe. But some war dress, traditional metal, and some War Cloud, State of Shock. And it's just think Metallica meets Thin Lizzy, and this is what you get with War Cloud. It's on the Ripple label, black vinyl. And this, the second album, they're from the Bay Area. So thrashy, hard rocky, heavy metal. If you like Saxon, Motorhead, Judas Priest, you'll definitely like War Cloud. I believe they have a couple albums out now. 3. Trying to think. This one came out in 2019. So, but War Cloud. And the last one of the war bands. God, where are these guys? Germany, Austria, I think maybe. Can't remember. There's so many bands, so many different countries. But this is War Kings. I believe they're just releasing, I believe, their 3rd album. This is Revenge. I've heard some of the 3rd album, and it's okay, but I think it's getting a little bit too symphonic for me. I used to love that stuff, but I just really am not in the mood to hear that. But I still have a couple of their early stuff. This is Revenge. Let's see, this came out let's see, I'm not sure. I think this came out about 2022 maybe. But power metal, melodic power metal now, maybe more symphonic power metal. And but anyway, guys, that's all I have for the war bands. And as far as any other bands with multiple, or bands with bands that have multiple same names, starters, I don't think I have very many more. Probably won't be doing another one, but look forward to rarity albums coming up here, which I have. So anyway, like I say, if you got a comment, leave it below. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel. Hit the bell, you'll get updates, and we'll see you next time, and take care, everybody.